Drummond.
I am here.
Valian.
I'm here.
Zirak.
I am here, doing math.
Elise.
Present.
Valeria. Okay, Rudy.
I'm dead.
Leomorn. Valeria. She might be away from the computer. Being muted. Who would like to...
Oh, I'm here too, by the way.
Oh, I know you're here, but you're on your way home. I don't want to rush you.
Oh, I'm fine. Only one more workout to go.
Okay. Valeria?
Sorry, I didn't hear anything, but I'm here.
Okay. Who would like to do the recap of what happened last time?
I can do it so if no one else wants to.
You mean not how to kill a troll?
I had a little something prepared, but I didn't get to finish it.
I'll leave it up to you two to decide who does what.
Do you want it, Carla?
Sure.
Okay.
Right. Last time on A Brave New World began to worsen. The morale of the Fates United waned. Their time was running out as winter was fast approaching. Even though they had traveled far way up the Wintercap Mountains, there was still no guarantee that they would find Sibylla, Thalian's girlfriend, alive. Think of all these horrible things that they experienced in the Barrowlands. Thalian promised that if they followed his lead, those words were to encourage them, but somehow they became cursed. As they trekked forward, Guard Shadow growled in warning. Another obstacle. Thalian suggested to check it out and dispose of the threat. He approached the cave, triggering a battle with two chimeras. Two of them... Well, I already said. As the spellcasters called upon their magic, something in the air seemed to warp it. It was going in their favor, but when Valeria noticed one of the chimera backing up into the cave, she wondered. Rudy was the one to speak out, saying they must be protecting their babies. There was not much they could do, as they had already started this battle, and it was either them... It was either the Fates United or the Chimeras, and the Fates United decided that their lives were much more important. Those of the two Chimeras, quite easily, but flown up to one of the cliffs, a troll appeared and almost killed her, but thankfully the others brought her back up. Stay away from it, as its blood was poisonous. Continue to fight. In the chaos, some of them forgot the warning, and Rudy stepped up to help in the battle. She also fell, but this time there was no... As Valian went to hit it, and the blood more as she had fallen. After that, I guess Zirak used his spell to drop the troll into the fire itself once more and doing more damage. That as Rovan also, because of the blood. He wants to finish the last part he can, because that's as much as I have.
Everything was going crazy. The battle intense, allies fallen. As things became more erratic as everyone got angry seeing Rudy fall, everyone forgot the warnings. Garshadow fell soon after, as people kept fighting the creature trying to keep it from regenerating. How do we stop it? Valiant kept calling out, "Drag it to the fire," as well as Zerak, or "Put a torch to it." Everyone was hesitating, too scared to approach the creature, as its blood was literally killing everyone. Somehow this creature, while dead, was still defeating the party. Finally, Thalion threw a torch on it, but the torch was not enough to kill it. That was when Zerak finally levitated the creature and dropped it on the remains of an fire that Thalion originally threw but missed. Now with the fight finished, the group looked on their downed party members while some searched for some shelter. Others went to bury the dead chimeras, understanding now that they were not attacking for food but defending their children. And others found buried treasure in the troll cave. The group separated, trying to plan what to do next, how to revive Rudy. There were some other caves found. These caves were a tomb, the only ones clean without hordes of undead filth and feces laying around. This is where they plan to hide out for the moment while they plan to revive Rudy and Garshadow. What will happen next? Find out now on A Brave New World.
Well done. Why don't both of you give yourselves a point of inspiration? Those of you that had inspiration last time, we are waking up in a brand new day after a long rest, after a combat situation, so any unused inspiration will be lost.
Just
you guys
to
wake up.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Thalion pretty much will have an exhaustion for using that time to revive Garshadow, right?
Yes. And Garshadow is going to wake up with resurrection sickness. And that's a -4 modifier to attacks, saving throws, ability checks.
Okay.
Let me make sure here. Okay, so it's a -4 to attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks, and then you reduce it by 1 after every long rest.
Okay.
You guys wake up to a chilly, foggy, crisp morning that sort of bites at your cheeks and your exposed flesh. Your bones ache, not just from the cold, but from the exertion of yesterday, the quick travel, and the two encounters seemingly in succession. And staring at you in stark reminder of just how real the events the day before were is the blanket-covered body of Rudy set close to the fire. What would you guys like to do?
I have the gem if you're ready, Valeria.
Done this before, so I don't know if it'll work, but let's try. I hate using this because I'm something that I quite like doing, but
This is for the right reason, though.
The other spell was used to preserve him, right?
yes.
Her. And I'll hand over that Armdahl diamond to Valeria.
Just one?
Oh, I had 2 left, didn't I? I'll hand both over because I'm not sure the actual cost. I think they were pretty expensive, but then again, I got swindled in that town, so I don't know for sure. So I hand you both, Valeria.
I've never done this before. I guess
From what you've read and
probably
studied,
be
from what you've read and studied, and also what you've seen prepared, you saw firsthand how to actually use this prayer and this sort of ritual of revivification when Zirak was brought to the Temple of Shantae in Brayburn. You know that there are certain things asked in exchange for the soul. You know that the priests asked if any of you were willing to give anything to help with the ritual. If that's something that you wish to do, I will let you do that. Or you can start the prayer and we can see what happens.
I take off my ring of evasion, and I guess I'll be using that as well.
So you're offering
Yeah.
your ring to the spirit.
Dalian will step up, and he found quite a few journals on their earlier adventures, and those Rudy likes to tell stories. He will offer up one of these journals from one of the fallen adventurers as hope that it might be a story that maybe Rudy could embellish later on.
Rudy.
Wait 1 second. Ravanian will lean in close to Rudy's ear and whisper a secret that he's never told anybody else. And I will whisper to him the true fate of my father, to share only with him. And that's it.
Can you say that again, Chris?
I go in close and whisper into Rudy's ear the true fate of my father, since he likes stories.
Okay. And then when you get here, I'll have you whisper that
Okay.
To Rudy.
I shall offer up the special comb that I've kept as well.
What do each of you say as you offer these things to help entice the soul back from where it currently is resting? Valeria, as you take off your ring, what do you say?
I say, I know I wasn't there to protect you, but I promise if you come back, I'll try harder.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me, please. Okay. As you lay the journals next to her body, as you guys are sort of trying your best to keep the wind and dirt away from it, Thalion, what do you say?
It is not yet your time, Rudy. You have many more stories to tell, many more to enhance. I offer these up to you in hopes that you will come back and make these great tales. Maybe you can even spin tales of our group.
Go ahead and roll a d20. Okay. Elise, as you offer up your comb, what do you say as you lean in close?
Now my dear, I'm not much one for praying, but I really do pray that you hear our words and come back to us. I could really use another person to share stories with. Besides, you still have an adventure to complete, right? She's gonna put her hands together at the comb, clasping it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20.
I'm logging in right now. Give me a second.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Ah, it's a snake woman.
Yeah, I gotta change it, but I want to log in real quick so I can do my thing.
No, it's cool. You can, you don't have to change your picture. You just have to go onto the chat box underneath and then just change to Rovani and it'll automatically change your picture.
Oh, there we go. That works. Okay, I'm going to do my thing.
Okay.
Since I'm whispering it, do I still want to say it out loud though? But
You can whisper it to Rudy if you want to type that information to her. I know what it is. You can go ahead at any time during this process, but go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
okay. Of course.
Okay. Rudy.
Yes.
You're standing outside a building. It's a tall, two-story building. You look to the right and you see that there are some hitch posts and a trough. You look to the left and you see there seems to be a couple parked wagons. Horse is still hitched, but all the sound seems muted. Everything feels fuzzy. You look to the ground and the colors are dulled. No vibrant greens, no stark browns. You look to the sky and even that seems sort of sadly gray. But there's still some definition of it that shows you clouds. You think you hear the noises of everyday life behind you, the clattering of hooves, speaking, but everything is muffled. But the building is in stark contrast, vibrant. And you
Will I
hear,
recognize it?
give me a intelligence check. It just so happens this is a very familiar inn. One that your troop used to visit multiple times, traveling in and out of Halenar. Sounds are coming from inside. Raucous laughter. Cheers, songs, stamping of feet, pounding on tables. What do you do?
I'm gonna go investigate.
You walk through the door. The double doors swing wide on their hinges. While the outside of the building is vibrant, the inside, again, is quite dull. You see outlines of figures. Though you can hear the merrymaking that sort of touches your soul, sort of warms you from the inside out. The sound of happy singing, the telling of stories. The faces are fuzzy. Colors again are muted inside. The smells are somewhat stale. Pipe smoke, old food, ale, wine, scents of vinegar sort of dance in the foetid breeze inside. And you continue to walk, and you wend your way through the crowd. They almost seem to part before you as you make your way in towards. In the center, just as you remember, is a very large circular stage. Inside this large indoor, somewhat arena, a perfect 30-foot radius circle of a stage, one that you remember performing on quite a bit. And there, also sitting in a table directly in front, in stark contrast, is a man. Sun-kissed skin, long flowing gray hair, a nicely trimmed beard, the hair pulled back into a ponytail, sitting with his legs crossed on a chair, staring up at the stage, sort of drinking from a glass of ale.
So he's the only one who's actually like solid. Everyone else is kind of fuzzy.
Everyone else is kind of like a shadow image. Like the image of something that you see out of the corner of your eye. But it's like in a world in focus, these people standing around you are out of focus. But the building in itself, you can make out all the cracks in the floorboards, the dents in the pillars that hold up the second-story balconies that encircle this entire sort of arena-like area inside this theater. The tables, the chairs, the bar, but just the people around are fuzzy and out of focus, but this man is.
Does he look familiar to me?
He does. You walk up closer, and there you see the spitting image of your father in his younger years. Just when his hair was starting to turn gray, sort of meshing in with the light brown pulled tightly back, sitting with his calfskin pants and his high-legged riding boots, his nicely cut officer's coat that he would usually wear on stage drinking a beer. And as you sort of look at him, his head turns towards you and his eyes brighten and he smiles. Bella, you're not supposed to be in here.
Well, why not? What are you doing here?
Your voice escapes your mouth and it surprises you. It's high-pitched, a little squeaky. You look down and you see that you're wearing a sundress. On top of your head, you didn't notice before, was a big, fluffy straw hat. In your arms, you seem to be carrying what looks like a long tweed coat. I'm old enough to be here, young lady.
Is this one of my memories?
Right now, you don't know. Everything about what you're experiencing at the moment is somewhat disorienting. It's like 100 memories compressing itself into one moment. An overwhelming sense of deja vu that almost leaves you dizzy with the amount of emotional impact that all these scents, sounds are just sort of assaulting your body, the sight that you're seeing of your father, the longing to see him.
So I will say, I got lonely and I came to find you.
And he waves you over.
I'm going to go and climb up on a seat next to him.
He sort of picks you up and kind of places you on his knee. He smells just the way that you remember He still has the scent of the saddle on him, and the cherry-scented tobacco of his pipe weed still kind of lingers off of his body. And he kind of takes his left hand and he runs it across your left cheek. So what happened here? It looks like you've done a little bit of living.
Yeah. I met a boy and he was mean to me. But I was mean to him first, so I guess I deserved.
And he kind of leans in with a smile and he's like, well, you know what that means. When boys are mean to you, that means they like you. And if you're mean to boys, that means you like them. Do you like this boy? Should I have a talk?
No, you know I can handle myself, Dad. And I kind of like cross my arms and pout a little.
I know you can. And he kind of strokes your chin for a bit and kind of looks at you. You know, you really shouldn't be here.
I know, but I just don't know how to get out. Can you help me?
You could always go on stage. And then you look to the stage, and a sudden sort of beam and shine shines down from the light above, down onto the stage. Sounds like they want an encore. And you look back, and you don't see him. You have to look down. You're standing again. You look down at your clothes, and you see your grown self. Your own sun-kissed, traveled skin. Your cold weather clothes. You look down to your father and you see his hair thinned, matted, kind of ratty, his face sallow, his beard unkempt and long. He looks frail.
I will give him a big hug, and then I say, will you watch me?
And he grabs your arm, and the strength almost belies his age, and it sort of takes you aback, going from one moment to another. His eyes are frantic as he looks at you. Remember, to me, the thing that is worse than death is betrayal. I could conceive death, but I can't conceive betrayal. Go. You don't belong here. And he starts pushing you towards the stage, and you sort of stumble back in shock, fright. The figures around in shadowy black unfocus start to grow larger and kind of loom. The only light left within is the light in the stage, a spotlight blaring down from above, a white hot beacon of sorts.
I am going to run into that beam of light.
You run into the light, you feel warm, you hear Dalian's voice. There's too many stories to tell. Come back, Valeria. I wasn't there to protect you, and I'm sorry. But I will if you come back. Elise, I need someone to talk to. Rovanian whispers something dark that piques your curiosity. Valeria, as you finish your prayer, I need you to roll me a d20 plus 5. If you want to use your inspiration, you can. Rudy, you're cold. No. Half of your body is cold. Your left half. Your right half is uncomfortably warm. There's something heavy on your face. It's muffling the sounds around it. The speaking. A constant wind is blowing. You're laying on something cold and hard. Your body is achy, sore. You're in an immense amount of residual aching pain as you begin to move. You open your eyes and you're seeing spots. Everything is coming into stark focus. There's something's blocking your vision. Oh my God, you've gone blind.
I'm going to reach up onto my face and try and rip off whatever's covering my face.
Those of you standing around watch as her arm reaches up underneath the blanket and then pulls down the blanket. Rudy, you look around, and as these figures around you are slowly coming into focus, and there you can see, looking down upon you, Ravanian, Thalian, Valyria, Elise, Zirak looking on. Droman sort of standing in the back watching. The sounds of the horses neighing. A woman sobbing. Sounds like Faye.
It's a pathetic word.
What's going on? Where are we? What's happening?
Don't do that! You nearly give me a heart attack doing that!
Welcome back, Rudy.
You're back, Rudy!
Welcome back to this side.
I'll look around, and I'll go, friends, I'm back. It's me, Layla.
Ah! What? No! Fuck you!
Wait, what?
No!
Rudy, I know you're an actress and all, but please, it has to be a facade, right?
Rudy will look at Zarek and she go, too much?
Rudy, give yourself...
A little
Rudy,
too
give
soon,
yourself
Rudy,
one.
yes.
I mean, I'm gonna kill you when you get down here.
Too late for that.
Son of a bitch.
Valiant will offer his hand to help Rudy up.
Rudy will gladly accept his hand.
You feel extremely fatigued. You feel drained, wasted away, like empty. Like you've gone a whole day without really eating, and that sugar low is really that low blood pressure is sort of kind of kicking in. Moving a little bit just makes you dizzy. You two have resurrection sickness, -4 to ability checks, saving throws, and attacks.
Okay.
You still have many stories to tell. You should take it easy and stay to the back of the group.
I think I will. I know stories of heroes being saved from death, but never have they been saved twice. I do not wish to be the first. She looks around and she goes, so, who was my true love?
I don't think
Wait,
that's how it works.
don't answer. I want to guess.
Oh, bloody hell.
So, it seems I wasn't gone too long. We seem to be in the same general area. What's next?
Rudy, since you are such an exceptional storyteller, and one who has a grasp of good comic timing, if perhaps when you're feeling a little bit better, I would love to discuss with you what you may have seen on the other side before you were brought back, since now 3 of us have experienced this phenomenon. And I'm wondering if yours is different from mine or Thalion's.
So you two have experienced this before?
Yes.
Indeed, adventuring is perilous. Welcome to the club.
It is a club that I reluctantly joined.
Yeah, she did kind of tag along to the group where the rest of us signed on to this in our early days. Maybe while we wait for Rudy to get a little bit of energy before moving on, we can all pitch in on telling why we chose this life.
I suppose a sit down would be nice, honestly. After everything we've gone through so far.
Ooh, is it story time?
While we wait for you to get some energy, and I'll hand over a water skin for Rudy to drink from. Since
I will accept it.
it was my idea, I will start. You all know that we are here because I'm searching for my girlfriend that I left behind here. But the reason I chose this adventure, chose this life, I guess you can say stemmed from my youth. I am not from these lands, I'm actually from the Amaranth Woods, if anyone has heard of them. Unfortunately, wood elves are not kind to half-breeds. So I guess in my youth I believed that by becoming a better warrior, one that was heard of all over, they would have to accept me. Plus, it would be nice to find out what happened to my human father. So, I chose to become like the heroes I've read about in tales. And I guess along the way I've learned that there are pieces left out of these books, the darker parts. Not everything ends in a happy ending. But that's my tale. Who wants to go next?
The mood seems very pensive, Thalion, after you get done sort of sharing. Everyone's just sort of looking around, kind of at their shoes.
Well, I have been I would say a loner most of my life. I born a human mother, rejected by an elvish father. Her family basically despised me and treated me like a servant, basically, most of my life. So you can imagine I haven't really been close to many people. Though I found myself in the service of Ysseris, and I've found purpose ever since. This is the first group I've actually had the pleasure of journeying with, and I think I've learned to trust you all. And with that trust comes my pledge that I will be here as your sword to keep you protected for as long as I live, and for as long as Ysseris commands it. But I wish to make one thing clear. With my trust comes a condition. Should you ever betray me, then my hand will fall upon you. And I swear this as well.
And believe me, you don't want his hand upon you.
No, no, you don't. I've seen that firsthand.
Well, you all know my story, but I'll tell it again. My father ran a troupe called the Battle Dancers, where we reenacted the great battles of old for the pleasure of the audiences. And I loved those stories. They always inspire me. But it was not meant to last. We were forced to disband for reasons that I cannot say. And I have been on my own for a few years now. And I guess I joined you guys just to make my own story. And so far, we've had its ups and downs, mostly downs. But no story is worth telling without conflict. And I'm grateful for all of you to take me up on this adventure.
Only the best stories have conflict.
Diane kind of
And the best stories are often told from experience, huh?
I started this journey because of what happened in my past. I'd been as a child by a witch, and I watched her eat these children, and that would have been my fate if I had not had the help of a girl, and she helped me escape. And you had basically gone through that with me once more not too long ago. When I find myself back at the house, at my own home, I just close myself off from everybody. In doing so, I caused a rift between my family and I. I'll ever really be able to repair. I chose to follow the lady because of a sister who came and visited me and told me stories of the lady, and to at the convent with them and become a cleric and help those that needed to leave my home and travel and help those outside of my country. I am here now.
To be honest, I never thought I'd ever be in this type of situation. I was just another kid, as I guess you can call it. I just still distinctly remember my mother trying to do the best to take care of me. That was before she moved on. A good portion of my life, I was in a very, very bad state of mind, and physically was in this terrible, terrible place. How no child ever died, I'd never know. I don't even know if any did. But I lived a good portion of my life in an orphanage, where met some very good friends, and what's funny is I do have a very big gap in my memory. Something happened. I just don't remember what. I just remember noise, screaming. I opened the door, and that's all I remember. Other than just a flash of something. and he'll snap his finger to create a little spark, just like that. Next thing I know, I'm in some weird house with a man I never knew, with terrible, terrible wounds on me. But he helped me back on my feet, and in a way, he kind of became the father. I still wonder where I still wonder where he's at. I guess that's why I decided to hop on with you lot. I mean, granted, I do miss my old man, my mentor, my friends, my teacher. But I'm sure they wouldn't mind you lot. And hey, who knows? Maybe you guys will get to meet them next time around.
Zirak, you kind of feel everyone's stares kind of looking at you now. Some sidelong, not wanting to make eye contact for too long. Others just kind of looking at you expectantly.
Yeah. I raise my head and I say, you all know why I'm here. You know that I'm well studied, well versed in the arcane arts, but I can't learn everything there is to learn by reading books. They're valuable indeed, and there are books out there that I have yet to read. That is part of why I'm here. There are books, there are experiences, there are magics. There's something I haven't told any of you. Since we're all in confession mode here. It's not much of a confession, but when I was young, and I look up at the sky when I say that and think, around 6 months ago, I had a vision in the Dryad Woods. I've grown. We've all grown so much in the last half a year. It seems like a lifetime ago. This vision was terrible. It seemed to me to be a portent of the end of the world, possibly, or some type of great disaster that would hit the lands of men. I couldn't understand this vision. I didn't have the knowledge or the experience in magic to be able to decipher the images that I saw, or understand even the language that spoke to me in the dream, or in the vision. Bidding farewell to the Dryads that had raised me and my special friend Amara, I left the Dryad Woods in search of more knowledge, an ability to understand the arcane arts that I had been blessed with through my instructor, posthumously, I might add. You've met what I have come to discover is his wife, Zephyrian, the spirit from my book, who once was possessed by a demon, but has since been set free. She is pure of heart and brave, and she gives me courage that I might one day achieve the power that my mentor, Talus, her husband, had. And by doing so now, over the course of the last 6 months with you, I might be able to free Amara and her soul from the curse that she is stuck within. That is why I'm here. And then I'll go back to preening Moonlight's feathers.
Now the elephant in the room. Drummond, you feel a little bit uneasy. You feel uneasy just being in plain sight. You always find yourself kind of trying to find the closest shadow, the nearest corner to kind of just to be unnoticed, but here, sort of surrounded by all these people, you find that it's pretty hard. And now, after sort of Sirac speaks and turns around, you sort of take an inward, quick breath as all the faces, in almost like movie-like quickness, kind of like turn towards your direction. You, the most mysterious of the group.
All right. I had a rival growing up, and he seemed to do some pretty... I had a rival, and I was trying to beat him at things. I decided to join the Blackhearts, and so I followed him. But after joining, I found new purpose and new goals with you guys. What else is there to say?
There surely must be more to that, honestly.
As we all just kind of see German just kind of shrug like, nah.
Well, if he doesn't want to expose too much, that's fine. He has proven his worth. What about you, Elise?
Well, since we're all kind of telling, our just sob stories and whatnot, as you all can probably tell, I've always been a bit of a odd kid. Strange and weird compared to others. I never met my father. My mother died of a sickness and ended up in an orphanage. In fact, actually, I ended up in the same one as Leomorn. And, yeah, a lot of bad things that were not so great, kind of went down. The orphanage I was in set fire, a big explosion, and from there I kind of went still spiraling down the dark path of no good, and took to the streets and, well, became a street performer, as well as many other probably not so great things. Anyways, I decided that maybe if I joined a group of fine-looking people, maybe I could, I guess find a better life or a better purpose, perhaps, than what I was doing before I joined the Fates United. And maybe someday, make up for the past, I suppose.
That's pretty true, Valeria. I guess we all have that in common.
I never wanted to think of it like that.
Daddy issues necessarily. Something tells me that I may or may not want to know what my father is or who he is. I'm not sure which is more important, the who or the what. I mean, it's kind of obvious. My mother was not a devil. She was crazy, though.
You guys eat your tasteless porridge that Valeria has concocted.
I eat a berry.
Your sad stories the porridge, though nourishing, just sort of adds to the melancholy feel of the whole situation.
That's why I eat a berry.
Everything feels drab and dour. The horses don't mind as they kind of like huddle together for warmth, eating from the buckets as Tristan and Welf kind of feed them. Now, getting yourselves going as the fire begins to die out, not seeing any more wood around the area to keep it going. It is about 11 in the morning. There is a caved-in cave that Dromid is sort of seeking refuge from the wind in. To the south, next to Elise, is the cave that her and Liam described, spiraled down further into some sort of burial chamber. There was the Troll Horde cave that Xerax sort of went over with a fine-tooth comb. And then the Chimera cave to the south that when you guys went and investigated, you found that the eggs broke and its contents and sort of embryo sacs that were inside the eggs kind of leaked out due to the concussive force of Lamorn's thunderous chaos bolt that sort of exploded near it. What would you guys like to do?
Did you guys say you found a tomb down there? Not that I say we go spoil it, but I'm just curious what you found.
I'd rather not, honestly. Let's just say alongside it I found some ruins. They do see the mentioned family, inheritance, strength, trickery, illusions. I would not in for them.
It's probably like another cursed thing like the box was. I mean, it's probably best not to disturb those coffins. There's 2 of them down there.
I never understand people's desire to try to bury themselves with things. You can't take it with you.
No, but you can prevent someone from taking it.
Debtors, they could use it.
True. Though, there is that one saying that, you know, the dead can't really use it, so why not put it to good use elsewhere, but, you know. Oh well. C'est la vie.
I've experienced the dead. They don't need it.
Sometimes I have found that things that are buried because a person who obtained the item or had the item in life was narcissistic and selfish and took it with them to the grave would be more useful if serving the people of the living or the living instead of being buried. Many great and wondrous artifacts have been unearthed, and lore and stories about our past that might have been forgotten if not for these artifacts being... I don't wish to be dissentful here, but I have to voice my dissent to the overwhelming majority opinion. Some things that are buried should stay buried indeed, but like Rovanian said, you can't take it with you. So, why not take it away from the dead? I don't see it as a disservice to the dead.
This sword on my back served my father and his father before him for probably a few thousand years. I could have buried it with him, but I took it, and I use it now to save your lives and mine.
I think it could go either way. It depends on the dead that hold the item. For example, with Rovanian, his was passed on. There are sometimes situations where the dead are not exactly evil and they pass something on, at least from what I've read in tales. Unfortunately, in these lands, most things are pretty angry and hold grudges and do not wish to let go of the grip.
Yeah.
The book here with which I keep my spells was Talus's spell book, and I discovered his tower when I was a lad, buried in the jungle, and broke into it and acquired all of my arcane magic from a corpse. I see that good has come of this.
You're very lucky. Sometimes the dead can be,
needy.
as a last guard to something bad or curse too. But either way, it could go either way.
I've heard too many stories of vengeful spirits and Walking Dead to steal from any tombs.
Likewise, plus I've seen these spirits in action. They're not fun to deal with, and also, like what happened to our friend German, certain things are cursed. You might not want to touch it, even though it might belong to something that's not there anymore.
Sure, but we have the ability to take away such curses, as we've seen from our great healer.
There are some curses that cannot be taken away just so easily, though.
I care not either way. I'm just expressing my opinion that things are wasted when buried beneath the ground.
I clasp my hand on Brovanian's back and say, I agree with you, my friend. At the very least, we should see if good can come of the item found. If not, then toss it back. No one's the worse off.
And from what Leomorn and Elise did describe to you guys do know that this is some sort of dwarven burial chamber. From everything they saw inside, the runes that Leomorn is sort of pointing out over the cave entrances that are almost cleverly hidden in the stone and almost imperceptible to the eye if you weren't looking for them. Those of you with a general knowledge of dwarves and their sort of traditions know that they are buried with a modicum of wealth and some of the things that they held in life that was not passed down to other generations. So, just throwing that out there. You guys also have a rotting body of a chimera.
No, I was burying them, remember? I wanted to bury them.
Actually,
Okay,
we
so
also
you buried-
said we were going to harvest the adult one that you beheaded.
But if he said he buried them last time, then no chance.
Yeah, based on what happened, I wanted to bury them because actually they ended up being honorable creatures that I accidentally slayed and disturbed the balance in this area.
That sounds like a plan then.
I mean, if you wanted to check them out, I suppose I could come along and see if I can't find any more of these ruins, because they are honestly very fascinating. I would strongly advise not to try to disrupt anything.
And to Lisa's point, real quick, aren't we currently dealing with angry spirits and undead? That's kind of what our thing is right now.
I did
Well, that's kind of the
say-
thing. That's the weird part about this whole situation. Once you guys left the Barrowlands, you haven't fought any sort of undead. Thalion, try as he might, only sensed a little signature of undead, and that was yesterday. But this entire almost month and a half long journey you guys have been up here in the mountains, you guys have been fighting against the strange nature that lives here.
Let me
And
ask.
the weird monstrosity.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's it.
Let me ask this question. In your exploration of the tomb, did you see any dedications to any god, or was it just basically this dwarf and his gold? Where I say it's not good to bury things, I do respect things given to the gods, for they do take what is theirs. Did they say anything about gods?
They didn't go inside. They stayed at the landing of the spiral ramp that went all the way down. And they did not dare to go in, but what they did see was more of the same runes that you guys see on the cave face that follows the rim of the entrance.
You know, it seems that it would behoove us to explore at least a little bit of this tomb. Many secrets of the past are buried in the ground and would otherwise go unknown. We don't have to take anything, but perhaps there are inscriptions on the walls. Maybe there is a map or a scroll or something inside of which could describe the terrain we're crossing. If this place was a dwarven stronghold in the past, perhaps they have some information down there that would help us navigate it. Why let it go to waste?
And then the runes, just in case you guys don't remember that Leomorn showed you and explained, and those of you, Zirak, who was able to decipher the first runes with the Arcana check, and then also those of you that do know any form of Dwarvish, as he's pointing out, he points again that they are the runes called Proto, which refers to things not being as they seem, to keep things hidden, meaning illusions. There's the rune of Ortolan, which means property. It also means inheritance and family. And then you guys see the familiar rune, Oruz, the one that Thalion came up with, that also stands for the wild ox, as well as sacrifice and strength.
Oh, that one again.
That was the one that I think signified the offering. So when we put the coin down and we all felt rejuvenated, maybe we should take a look.
It's possible this tomb is basically here for a certain family to come and collect the riches that are owed to them.
And just to remind you, you guys remember that the offering chest made of marble in front of the stone had both the rune of Oruz and the other one that was Isaz. And Zirak explained that Isaz means ice, imprisonment, paralysis. You remembered that the two urns and the statue of Martha Marduin only had the rune of Oruz for strength, sacrifice. When you touched the statue, when you touched the urns, nothing happened. But it was when Dromund tried to lift the lid of the vault that had Isaz on it, is when the frostbite began to take over his body.
So the runes have power, basically.
Those of you with a general knowledge of dwarves know that dwarves believe in something called runecraft and rune magic. Dwarven magic weapons are all imbued with these runes. You will find Oruz carved into weapons to give them strength so they don't break. Armor etched with this runecraft can almost be unbreakable. You look at that statue that looked like it had not aged a day, even though the dais it sat on, the marble plinth, was smooth and worn down to time. Two of the urns looked as if they were made yesterday, and another one was turning to chalk broken on the ground.
Well, Zarek, would you like to go take a look? You are very good with Arcana. I know Dwarvish.
I would indeed. I pull out my brand new wand with the crystal inside of it and the antlers to hold, and I cast light upon it. I'm ready.
I'll go with you to offer protection.
Valeria, you always seem the voice of reason who notices things we miss.
Is it really necessary to check it out?
If there's any dedication to an actual god, I will pull back.
To be honest, Valeria, I'm just curious if maybe it's something that'll help bolster us with what might be ahead, since things are getting deadlier.
Valeria, let me give you a little perspective. The reason why I'm with you all is because my lord told me that the end is coming, and that you all have a part to play in perhaps stopping it. If the end comes, this treasure will mean nothing. None of this will mean nothing.
Well, if we're going to do this, we should do it quickly. And then I'll kind of start walking slowly.
We will not disrespect the dead.
Just be very,
Just
very
wish
careful,
to find out
guys.
any information. So I'll follow Thalion.
Just be very careful. Don't want any of y'all getting cursed now again. Okay?
If Valeria comes, I'll stand near her to keep her protected.
You guys step through the cave. After a couple feet, as I write a million asterisks in the chat box. After a couple
Mark,
feet,
is it a new day or the same day?
it is a brand new day. You guys had to sleep on it to give Valeria the chance to prepare the prayer of Revivify, which she did not have prepared.
Okay, then I will cast Mage Armor on myself, triggering my ward.
And as a disclaimer, the gentle repost Revivify thing was a one-time deal. That one time was this time. If it's not prepared, then it's not prepared.
I will say, after I get 6th level, you might as well just keep it prepared all the time. The perk of my being the barbarian that I am.
The landing ends, and the sloping ramp begins to move down and spiral. The sound of the wind seemingly stops. It is quiet. It smells musty. It's dank. There's a dampness that reminds you of forest mushrooms. It smells heavily of mud and earth. It's almost heady, somewhat intoxicating as you guys move down. The bit of light that you guys are casting kind of shines down, and you just seem to be following this spiral. It seems somewhat ominous. Almost as if at any moment you're expecting something to walk up the other way, surprising you. But it just doesn't come. A good 5 minutes of descent, and the slope begins to come less and less, and the circuit becomes a little bit wider. Elise, Leomorn, this is familiar. You know that at any moment now it's going to stop at the landing, and there you're going to see the large archway. And after a few more seconds, you hit it. Who is in the lead? Rovanian, Xerac, and Thalion?
I'm next to Valeria.
So I think it's me and Xerac in the lead.
Yeah, I was walking with Thalion, and I think he was. I think we were just walking together first.
And there you see a large black marble archway. And at the top of this immaculately smooth stone arch, where the keystone should sit, is a large dwarven mask. Almost a death mask, I guess you could say. Zirak, you walk up and you sort of run your hands along the marble, and there you see the similar runes that adorn the outside cave. Runes to try to keep it hidden. Runes that signify what is within.
These runes match the runes that something inside was meant to be hidden.
There was also one for illusion. Could something be misleading us? Maybe the treasure or the items are somewhere else in here.
There's a picture of the mask that you guys see up on top of the arch, where the keystone that holds the arch together should be.
Well, I believe I did tell the group that, unfortunately, I am not versed in illusion magic. It is diametrically opposed to the school of abjuration, and therefore I am unable to understand it. So I might be of little help against illusion magic.
Danny's gonna kind of walk around and see if he notices runes elsewhere down here on the walls, maybe.
Okay, if you guys are going to walk around inside.
I'm stuck in the middle.
The squares are a little bit off, I apologize.
Oh, and dark on me. Oh, there, it's back.
There, it's your new token.
Remember, we are just here for information. If it can be helped, let us not disturb the dead.
You look, and it almost seems as if part of the wall directly in front of you is just covered with piles and debris, and you look up and you see the part of the cave itself has sort of fallen, the ceiling. You look around, and the floor itself is the matching sort of black tile. It's run thick with veins of silver and gold. It is beautiful, opulent.
Mark, since the ceiling is low in here, I will send Moonlight to his pocket dimension.
Okay. Thalion, once you kind of stare past these rocks a little bit and kind of stare into the dimness beyond the light, you see that that's actually a carved stone wall that rises to meet the ceiling, though the stone isn't the natural stone. It is again carved of the black marble.
I see a sarcophagus down here, I think.
You end your way forward and you see that there is a sarcophagus scattered along the ground. You look at weapons, a shield, what looks like cups and plates of gold, silver. The lid has actually fallen off and cracked. Part of the edge of the sarcophagus here is broken. You look at some of the rubble strewn about it, and then you look up and you see that some of the cave ceiling here has fallen again, hitting what you can only assume is massive amount of force, knocking loose the sarcophagus lid. All over the floor, scattered, are coins. As you shine your light, you see silver, gold, a bluish tinted silver, and silver so pure it's almost white, you know it to be platinum.
I am going to inch forward just to see if in the open sarcophagus, I assume it's this first one right here. I just want to see if there's any remains inside.
You look and you do see remains. You peer down within.
Yeah, I'll peer down in to make sure that that's what I'm checking to make sure there's a body in there still, basically.
You peer down within and you see that there's naught left but bones wearing what seems to be rusted steel, finely crafted armor. It looks like it could still be worn by anybody that could fit in it. The plates are thick. It's ornamental the closer you look. Fine filigreed craftworks along the edges of the plates. The bony hands, long since turned to dust, leave a hatchet crossed. And then you look in and you see another one off to the side, fallen from the chest. This was clearly a warrior.
I place 2 fingers to my forehead and remove them and bow to the fallen warrior and say, I hope you were brave in life. And then I'm also kind of scanning around to see if there is anything that looks like a book or a tome or a journal or something that might tell the story of these fallen warriors.
With your passive perception, as you move towards the sarcophagus lid, you do in fact find what seems to be a thick tome on the ground.
I will carefully approach it and gingerly touch it with my fingertips to see if it too crumbles to dust.
It does not crumble to dust. It is thick. From cover to cover inside is sitting about 5 to 6 inches of paper. It is squat. It is large. You sort of put your fingers underneath it to kind of give it a tentative lift. It is heavy. You realize that the plate, or the cover, is so worn that it's actually a burnished brown steel that sits on the finest hinges you've ever seen made.
This is an amazing work of art. I will try to open it and put my light closer to the pages and see if I can read some of it.
You speak Dwarvish, yes?
I actually don't. So if I don't understand the script, I can cast Comprehend Languages and then read.
Okay. It definitely is in Dwarvish as you look at the runes. And these ones are less complex than the magical ones that you've seen adorning the archway, the statue, the chest. You sort of cast Comprehend Languages and everything comes into swift focus, as if there's a voice inside your head reading the words for you as you scan it. And you begin reading as here is the story of Algris Thorison, first captain of House Blackhorn, defender of his prince and people, died during the War of the Beard, slain by elves. And it just goes through and recounts his life, his deeds, and grudges held. Grudges against him, grudges against his clan. And you can see that, for the most part, this book is thick with accusations and wrongdoings caused by others towards this dwarf's clan.
Okay, so I will basically jot down a few notes, like names, maybe some of the clan names in my own journal, and then gently close the book. But I'll take time. If it takes, 15, 20 minutes to kind of skim through his life and pick out some details, just to add to my knowledge of the place.
So basically, the guy died, upset by a lot of people, and aired his grievances.
I feel it was a bit of both. That they had many grudges against those who had wronged them, and those who had wronged them held grudges against their family.
Those of you familiar with dwarves know that all dwarves carry grudges. Their grudges are almost as strong as their oaths. To get on the bad side of a dwarf and to have a dwarf hold a grudge against you is not a fun thing. They'll never forget, and they are a long-lived people. You know that each and every one of their capital cities, their Carracks, each city has a great book of grudges. And these span almost 3 millennia. Grudges against greenskins that torn down cities. Grudges against the elves for the wrongdoings they did to the dwarves that caused the War of the Beard. Grudges against the undead that came and fought and destroyed. It's kind of their thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Just gotta let it go. Come on, guys.
You read as you read some of them, Zirak. It's like I'll just make some off the top of my head from what I can remember. Great grandfather Thoris Algason burned by Drake. Evil the Black. So it's like, okay, they're even holding grudges against dragons that killed their great grandparents.
Well, I'll write down that dragon's name because perhaps if he's still alive, we're going to run into him in the mountains.
Drummond, you walk up to 2 large double doors. These ones made of an impeccably polished hardwood. Adorning in bas relief, very intricate, but done in a sort of geometric style. Not the sort of flowing, but as if it was chiseled. And the angles are in stark contrast with everything that should be flowing, like the runes on the ground. You see someone sitting atop what seems to be a throne carried like a palanquin. Dwarves at each corner having the palanquin on their shoulder holding large circular shields, while the person that sits on the throne holds out a hammer, his mouth open forever in a war cry. If you want, I can make some grudges for you and post them on the Facebook.
Like, we hate Taruk because he cheated a card with my grandfather.
Yes. Even the smallest grudges make it into the book. If it was done against the clan, then it was recorded, kept, and remembered.
Dahlian pretty much would kind of just skim through if Zirak allowed, just to see if there was any mention against particular types of half-elves or anything that might hint at his father's bloodline.
I'll probably look over Dahlian's shoulder, looking at just muttering bits like, "Wait, did he seriously put that on for that? That's so petty."
I tap Valeria on the shoulder and I say, "See, some things that are buried with the dead are useful and entertaining."
The way of the dwarves.
Dahlian, are you going to do this quickly, or are you going to try to go through all 10,000 pages in this 6-inch thick book?
I do it quickly.
1,000 pages?
All right. Yeah, it's thick. It's like 6 inches thick, from steel cover to steel back. And as you sort of skim through it, every page is covered from top to bottom, side to side, in script. You remember that the deeds of his life ended in 100 pages, and the rest of them are all grudgements. Sally, give me a general intelligence check.
It's like that list that Villain has. He has a small list of people who he keeps for those who piss him off.
You catch a few tidbits that mention the depravity of wood elves. Not so much mentioning anything about your bloodline that you can find. But, I mean, you're looking for Silvermane, maybe your mother's maiden name. Other than that, there's really not much you know.
Okay, I will set the book down and I'll continue searching around to see if I notice rooms anywhere else.
There's runes everywhere. The walls are covered in them. The ground, as you can see, almost inscribed in ribbons around. Runes everywhere.
If I take a look around these ruins, can I identify anything new? The runes?
Do you speak Dwarvish?
Yes.
Okay. You see a good spattering of the same runes that you've seen over and over again, the ones that mean family, inheritance. The closer you get in, you find the runes for royalty, runes of protection, runes that mean remembrance, again, runes to strengthen the stone.
Fascinating. That was fascinating.
The door that Droman stands in front of, you see that there are runes carved along the edges of each door, very finely, almost imperceptible, as if they wanted you to focus on the picture more so than the runes themselves. But as you kind of give it your once quick over, you find the runes of the sun, the runes of fearlessness, bravery.
And you said these are 2 double doors?
They're very large. They're like front to ceiling. It's maybe 10 feet tall. And these things go all the way up to the top and almost fit perfectly snug with the carved-in wall.
It says Sun, Fearless, Bravery.
Sorry, I'm back.
Rovanian, would you like to give me a hand? I'm sure these are pretty heavy.
Okay, I'll give you my hand.
There's a lever, it's just a flat door.
Just a flat door.
We try pushing it in.
First, I kind of place my hand on softly just to see if it reacts to my touch.
It is cold to the touch.
Okay, maybe it is just a push.
Okay, both of you give me a strength check. Okay, you both needed to roll a 15 or higher. You begin to push with your combined strength check, Rovanden.
Oh, sorry.
So let's. Just fuck it. We'll say that. We'll say it works. It's fine. With your prodigy strength, you guys both push at the same time, and you almost feel that there is a pressure that's fighting you, and you push until the doors begin to give a gap, and you guys push it open, and it's as if the air is being sucked in as you open it. Inside, you see another sarcophagus. Roots have begun to grow down from the mountain inside. You see that some of the roots have actually grown and knocked the sarcophagus lid down as well. On the ground is a scattering of chests, plates, bowls, urns, coins, weapons. On the ground, another large steel book.
Before stepping in, I use my awareness just to make sure that that faint undead sense I got is far away and not nearby.
You drop your hand down and you sense the undead presence is right on top of you.
I slowly stand up.
Have you no honor? And the voice echoes in the chamber. You defile our rest.
We wish to make sure your story is passed on.
Thieving elves.
We have taken nothing.
Leave.
I will
Zirak, Rudy, you feel a cold presence behind you. And you look, and standing up
Mark?
from within the sarcophagus.
Mark?
Rudy is
Straight outside.
not there. Rudy is
Oh.
token is there just so he can see. So I guess that
Zirak.
would be me.
Valyria. Zirak and Valyria. You guys feel the cold presence behind you. And you see standing up the spectral image of a dwarven warrior. In his hand wielding two gleaming hatchets.
So to the prince's words that
Walking from this side, Droman, you spy and you see another figure in full plate. A spectral image, though the image is quite clear. Full-faced helm. Metal circlets covering the beard. In its hand, it's wielding a massive, massive maul. You dare come into my tomb, elf. After everything your people did to us, we have not taken anything, you said. That means you were planning on taking it in the first place.
no, we intended on taking nothing, but merely learning. And
Give me a deception check. Because you guys clearly said that you guys would take something you found useful.
I did say that.
Which is the only reason I'm coming down here. Something useful that might help bolster the group.
Which I meant to be knowledge.
Oh,
but I
okay.
did.
Oh my god!
Well, Dalian isn't lying. He's like, I didn't want to take anything.
Valiant didn't say he was taking anything.
Let's roll some.
You could have just left us alone and left. But you decided, oh, let's go check it out.
I did advise not disturbing anything.
Experience is the best teacher, Valeria.
Technically, all we did was open
Now
the
get rid
door.
of these ghosts.
I think
Send
the
them to
best-
their eternal rest.
I think the best part was you read about the depravity of wood elves and all the grudges they held against elves, and it was the two half elves that pushed open the door. I was like, this is like
I actually had that thought when they went forth. I was like, maybe we should send
I
somebody who's
didn't
not an elf.
touch the door. That's why I was standing away from it.
But I didn't have a chance to walk
Maybe
over
they think
there.
I hated my elvish father.
Well, obviously their eternal rest was not peaceful. We'll just have to make it peaceful for them.
Plus is a good way to get XP. I want you guys to fight things.
I want a level.
I mean, imagine what I put in that lake for you guys that you were so scared to find.
I wasn't scared. Mark Rovanian is at the bottom of a knit. I think he just rolled after you sorted. So he needs to move up there.
Valeria, Garshadow, Rovanian. Who do you want to go first?
I wouldn't mind going first. It's up to you, y'all.
You guys can go before Garshadow.
See, the cleric should always go after everyone else in case somebody needs healing. But that's just my thinking.
Oh shit! Give me a minute here. I'll be right.
Yeah, to give you an idea, Rovan doesn't actually like undead. He feels the dead, as part of the balance, should be staying dead. So I'm more than happy to send these people back to the other side instead of them sitting here stewing about their grievances forever.
Right, good point, Rovanian. We're just here to bring the dead peace.
They need
Valeria, obviously they weren't buried in peace or respect, so we have to do that for them. Just consider it we're doing good by
They're
that.
they're probably laying here complaining for centuries about the same things that's in that book.
Really should sing "Let It Go."
Yes, I'm bringing Elsa's song to their
I
hearts.
can
Let
actually
it go, let it
I can actually
go.
imagine Valeria going, "Ah!" after we try to justify it all.
So nobody's putting two and two together that the sarcophaguses and everything were disturbed. It's just angry ghosts sitting having coffee, stewing about grudges.
That's what we decided.
They're
Yeah.
disturbed by like,
Totally has nothing to
nature.
do with us, opening their tomb or anything, disturbing them.
Like the haunted house at Disneyland. They've just been, hanging out, dancing.
That's the fun ride. The Haunted Mansion. That's the fun ride.
Some
Complain
coffees,
about it.
old bitterness, spewing.
Exactly. They had like they drink the blackest of coffees.
Yep.
It was a death wish for coffee.
The blackest of coffees, just black like their souls. Just
Yeah, burns the hairs right off ye. Turns
Why
you
do you
into a
stick
real
on
man
another
of
one?
one.
I hate Leonide too. He was terrible. Yeah, but he was as bad as he was. Probably they're undead. They're just so bitter.
Top of round. This one screams, "Protect the prince."
And the prince dies first.
25. Italian?
Oh, you're asking if I'm going to use my reaction on them?
Yes. I'm being an.
Actually, yeah, I will use it on him.
Okay.
16 hit?
16 does hit.
I'm trying to remember the plus for my undead, was that to just the attack or the damage?
You do an extra 2 damage.
It's actually 4 now when I leveled.
Then you do an extra 4. Okay. He is going to come and he's going to wail his maul around and he's going to aim for your midsection in a very Astaroth Soul Calibur kind of way, aiming to crush your ribs and your armor. Oh shit. $24.
That hits.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and your AC goes down by 1.
I still have some temporary.
So what's your AC down to now? 15?
That should be at 17.
No, because you took acid damage that you never got fixed in the barrel ends.
Oh, then it would be 16.
And then now you just took a AC penalty here, right?
Then 16.
Because you tried mending the half plate, and I told you couldn't.
So it'd be at 16 then.
16.
Yeah.
What's your? It's 17 half plate plus.
My total is 18. If it was down this whole time, then I would have been.
That's right. You have defense.
While watching everything, I am going to yell out in Dwarvish, we didn't take anything, as I get a charge going, and I will cast,
Lightning bolt.
I'll try to cast lightning, but no, I'll cast Witch Bolt to the one attacking Thalion. Well, while yelling in Dwarvish, we took nothing from you.
Except your undead lives.
That wasn't me.
Go ahead and cast it. There.
It's cast.
Am I the only one not seeing it?
No, I don't see
I don't
it.
see it. One of those invisible witch bolts.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
There it is.
There it goes.
There it goes.
25 will hit.
Drawing bated breath. Is it gonna hit?
Yeah.
Hang on that sweet, sweet damage.
Let's keep it at 1 for now.
Okay, 11.
I think he said he was attacking the one by Thalion.
Yes.
Yes.
I will turn my head over to Valeria and say, as I trust your judgment in all things divine, vanish or flee? I leave it to you, and I will prepare to start casting some magic, but hinging on whether I have 2 spells in mind, depending on what Valeria answered.
Rovanian.
I'm gonna step up to him, and I'm gonna basically say,
Hold on, Rovanian. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sir.
I mean, I was waiting for Valeria to free action answer my question before I casted a spell.
Okay. If you guys want to go back to the
Just
free
delayed
actions,
too long?
if you guys want to go back to
Well,
the
I mean,
free
I-
actions
I-
at any time, then I'm going to ask you guys to not, like, say a speech during your free
Yeah,
action. The only reason I changed it last time to the actual rule where you can only speak on your turn is because there was, like, week-long monologues going on during combat. I shouldn't have to do that.
Okay, I agree with that, and that's why I edited what I was going to say to her, and I only needed a 1-word response from her. But if we want to do it where she responds on her turn and I prepared an action, the only thing I would wonder is I can't prepare 2 spells.
Then I will say, we'll just go back to it.
I just wanted her to
Remember, you
say
have to-
flee. I said flee or banish.
Okay, you guys are speaking in 6-second turns, so just remember that when you go. Valeria, what do you?
I don't know if she knows what I'm doing here, but as Zarak, I am placing all the guilt squarely on Valeria's shoulders by her answering this question. That is exactly what I'm doing, and that was the role play I was going for here. So Valeria, yes, you are in charge.
Leave.
Okay, then I'm going to cast this spell. And then I'm going to double move out of the cave.
Okay.
Is that the exit up there?
That's the exit. And we're going to say
Okay.
you're on the map now, starting
Yeah.
on the ramp going.
That's 30 feet away, and I can triple move on my next turn if I want.
Rovanian, you just watched Zirak run out.
Right after Valeria told us to flee.
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I don't like undead. Undead go against the balance, and these guys clearly are just here stewing in their evil thoughts. So I'm gonna step up and I'm going to rage. Summon
Okay.
the fury of Ysera. Far too long you stood here between the veil. It's time to send you back to your rest. I'm gonna attempt to attack him. That one's gonna miss. Well, that one's gonna hit.
Okay.
That was radiant, by the way.
So that's 26 plus 11, 36. Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Gar Shadow.
Gar Shadow is going to try and help Dying so he can escape. Can't really pounce this thing, can he?
You can try. 17 will hit.
He actually gets that same favorite enemy bonus as me.
I added that in. But his attacks are halved. And you watch as he goes through, does some damage, but this spirit is standing unable to be brought down to the ground.
And that is his turn.
Valyria.
She doesn't want these people, so she's gonna double move towards the door.
Okay.
It was our fault that we're in this mess, so to people who decided to come here so they could deal for it themselves.
I was hoping you'd do that, Carla. I didn't want to be like standing outside going, well, she said to flee and now she's still in there? What?
So Valeria, as you're leaving, Dahlia's like, could you have at least Spanished them away so people can flee?
Dahlia, that's more than 6 words.
Nope, that's your own fault.
Also, Thalian, that's actually specifically why I used the terminology I used. So thank you for pointing it out and bringing it back. I said banish or flee. She said flee. And then you asked her if she should banish. I already cleared that up.
Ready? Valeria, is that all of your 60 foot or 60 foot?
Yep, that's all my movement.
Okay. Rovanin, he's going to retaliate in turn, taking up your challenge. (14)
Yeah, 16 is the number you want to hit.
And a 10. Your first initial onslaught has just sort of put him out of it as he's trying to get back, and right now you are the better defender. The prince comes up. And he is going to come try to hit you with his great axe. (16) just misses you? Or just...
That's exactly it since you lowered my AC.
13, and he's going to come in with another sweep.
That misses.
Just missing. Thalian, it is your turn.
Dahlia kind of looks at Garchana and says, it's time to go, boy. And we'll disengage.
Okay. Elise.
Well, seeing everybody leave, she too is leaving.
Okay.
I didn't want to be down there anyway.
You're gonna double move out?
Yep.
Drummond.
Alright. Time to get out of here, I guess. Move, action move.
Drummond.
Move it or lose it, Laymorn.
Just go, I'm okay, just go.
And Wraith, oddly enough, passes by the beast. Garshadow can take an attack of opportunity if he wishes. Actually, yeah, he can. Do you want him to?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack. 19 hits. And he is going to lay into Laymorn with 2 maul attacks.
Oh shit.
(25).
Yep.
15 bludgeoning, and the other one is coming screaming at your shoulder from up above as he wheels it up, and he's bringing it down like he's chopping. 18.
Yep, but I'm gonna lift the staff up and use the charge for shield.
Bring the staff, you drop it to the ground. This electrical field grows from your body in sort of like an Egyptian mummy sort of shape, like an Egyptian sarcophagus, and the maul hits it and bounds off. And then the electricity dissipates around you, though you're still glowing with the shield spell. It is your turn.
Zorvang's behind me. Okay, I think I got something here. This is gonna be risky, but I am going to hold a spell, and I'll hopefully Garshadow will understand. I'll yell, "Garshadow, quick, get next to me!" And I will hold the spell Thunder Step.
What does that do?
It's basically my way of getting him out of there.
I'm outside of the cave, so I just kind of make a hand motion to let everybody get by me, and I will take the dodge action.
Okay, Rovanian.
Saying Laymore and get attacked. I can't let him be here by himself.
Wait a minute. Your weapon is just silvered, right? It's not magical.
Yeah, just silver. Yeah. The radiant will do something.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Did it do damage to him at all, or no? Silver didn't do anything.
It did half damage to him, and then the radiant did do damage. So I had to add back the half because I took full damage off. I forgot.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna temporarily run. I'm going to. I'll go ahead and take a reaction just so I can try to get attention off Leomorn, so he can try attacking me.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack this one while you attack me.
20.
That hits, yeah.
You'll take 4 points of slashing.
No, you don't. Oh boy.
I don't know what you're doing. I just saw you get your butt kicked.
Okay, Rovanian, still your.
I'm going to attack this one.
Okay. 24 will hit.
So 11 total.
Doing damage to it. You watch as its form sort of flickers. Garshadow.
Garshadow kind of heard Leomorn's call and is gonna go up to him, but bite the Wraith as he gets up to Leomorn.
It will miss.
And then he kind of looks to Leomorn, kind of perks up, and then looks her over and then back at Leomorn.
Okay, Leomorn, what are you doing?
Once he gets close, I am going to quickly narrow down Pat's head, and it's like, trust me, and I'll burn a sorcery point for the careful spell as I cast Thunder Step.
What does careful spell do?
I think you get to pick someone who has advantage on the save.
Yeah, if they're caught in like a.
You don't need to do that. I could already get advantage. You're just gonna give me advantage.
You sure?
I already get advantage. Danger sense.
Okay, go ahead. Cast your spell.
Just wasting a sorcery point.
Go ahead and roll the damage. Rovanian, this is not a dexterity saving throw. This is a constitution saving throw, so please give me a constitution saving throw at regular.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy.
That was dexterity as AoE.
So careful spell means you can choose people to automatically save.
Yeah,
Oh.
they automatically save.
Well, that's different. I thought it was just advantage.
No.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your 3d10 thunder damage.
Come on. Don't do this one.
So I take 7.
You will take 6.
And with the thunder step,
You're at 300 feet out.
yep, I am focused right on the door. So hopefully Garcho doesn't mind a little static in his fur.
Down gives you a nod as you do this.
The marble underneath you cracks, leaving almost a crater as you take Barshadow with you. Valeria? Valeria runs.
I
11 points of slashing value.
I'm actually going to attempt to see. Well, I don't know if I can disarm him, but I'm going to attempt it with my
Okay.
reaction.
You aim perfectly for the oncoming battle axe, and your weapon passes through it, unable to disarm. So you take 11 points of slashing. Rovanian, the prince, comes up to you. Missing both times.
Okay.
As your radiant energy is sort of billowing off of you, giving you a somewhat of a defensive buffer. Valiant.
Bro, it's time to go.
In a moment.
I assume that you disengaged.
Yes.
Elise, do you continue to... I will say yes. Drummond?
Yeah.
I'm
continue to
just
run?
outside.
Cycle through everybody.
Just out-
Just get back to me.
Okay. Wraith is going to attack Rovanian twice.
Both miss.
Leomorn outside, Zirak outside, Rovanian.
Try to finish off this race at least.
Okay. 21 will hit.
Does the maul fall to the floor?
And you watch as he... and the ball in his hands dissipates with him, as it was a part of his spiritual form.
Okay, I'm not done yet. I'm gonna leave then. I'll take a attack opportunity. Second, sweetie. Booted there, 30 feet. So the prince can attack me once.
Missing? Yeah, I'm actually rolling really bad. I'm rolling really bad the fight you guys are leaving.
Oh, you guys should come back. I might just stay here and solve this if you guys don't want to fight.
Gar Shadow continues to run.
Do it. Totally in character, Rovanian. Put him to death.
If Garshadow's outside the door, he'll wait there for Thalion.
Okay, Valeria, do you continue to...
I guess I'll cast Healing Word on Leomorn, since
Where are you
he
standing?
took quite a bit of damage.
Are you standing inside still or outside?
I just couldn't because everybody else was there, but I'm outside of the cave.
You're outside in the landing? So think of this as the door. Zirak is over here waving people through. Are you on Zirak's side or are you on this side?
I can't see over there, but I'm gonna be on Xerac.
Gar Shadow is the door. Are you on Zirak's side, which is Elise, or are you on the opposite side of the portal?
Next to Xerac.
Leomorn, did you thunderstep just to the portal, or did you thunderstep in the middle of everything? This is important.
I think I just landed like near so I could help push people like right through the archway.
Okay, so you're still inside the tomb somewhat.
Yeah, just to help push everyone through.
Okay. Valeria, as you cast your healing word and you cast it out, the spell almost seems to reflect off of a thin gossamer veil before it goes stark again as the arch shimmers and then darkens.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
What was that?
I heal you if you're in there.
Oh, thank you.
You still have an action, Valeria?
I'll hold my action until everybody's out.
Okay.
You're like tempting me just to stay, dude, to try to figure this out. One hits.
You take 4 points, and he, as a bonus action, is going to take another attack. Missing with a 9. This attack puts him a little bit off kilter, giving you advantage on the next one.
Okay.
Valiant?
Bro, come on, it's not safe without the others.
I'm command. I can't say anything yet.
You can reply short answer.
Yoceros commands the end of all undeath.
Does he though?
Does he? I thought you said you said undeath was actually against his will. It's not part of the balance.
Elise?
Elise is outside breathing fresh air.
Mark, I'm still at camp. Would I see them running out of the...
They're not running out. They're still near the bottom of the ramp waiting for everybody to get out before they head up. I'll say the next round, if whoever was running up, but everybody kept saying that they were waiting, whoever's running out in the next round will make it with their movement. So the next round will say you start to see people running out.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm heading up towards.
Okay.
Let's
The next round, you're going to see Elise pop out. Drummond.
I guess I'll just follow Louise. Let's just get out of here.
Zoom. William Morton.
I'm going to start hitting up one last look over and start heading up.
Okay. Zirak. Still waiting.
No, I will nod to Valeria and say it looks like everybody's on their way out. I trust my cleric and her faith, and I will move 90 feet because I have Expeditious Retreat still cast, so I can triple move. So I go dashing into the camp up to Rudy.
Rovanian.
I might as well take advantage since he attacked me, so now I can hit him.
$26 will hit.
This is the prince. No, that's not very good, but whatever, I'll take it.
Okay.
And then I will withdraw just so I can. I'm just trying to buy my group of time.
Okay.
About 30 right there. 40, sorry. You can 2 attacks. What's up? I guess you both miss.
Both miss. I'm rolling very badly. Gar Shadow. Zoom. Valeria, you watch as Rovanian's getting closer, but 2 of the wraiths are hot on his heels.
Right. But I guess my better judgment, being back inside. And what's the range of turn undead?
It's 30 yards.
It's 60 feet, I believe.
Sorry, 60. Sorry, 30 feet. 60.
Yeah, it might be 30 feet, but I
Yeah, 30 feet. They can see you.
It's 30 feet. I'll get closer if I need.
Okay, so you're going to step in and try to turn the undead? Okay.
My goodness, I didn't want you to go in front of me.
Okay. You watch as your words and your holy power sort of wash over them. But they don't seem as affected as you think they would. The ghostly prince almost stands straighter, as if in defiance of you. $15. 15.
Yep. I tried.
Okay, so
You
you
want
move
you
in.
in front of me? And I gotta move back forward again.
Man, I'm rolling bad. It's going to make 3 attacks again.
Oh, yep, that hit. So you guys know this is all your fault. 17.
Okay, so it's going to be 16 plus 11. Yeah, 16. 1d12 plus 4, 16 plus the additional 1d12. So for 27 damage.
They strike Valeria, I scream in a primal rage.
And he is going to attack as a bonus action. 20. You take an additional 10 slashing and an additional 8 necrotic damage.
With 1 HP.
Thalion.
Diane calls
Man,
out.
whoever sent you that message on Messenger to run in there and try to banish them, Valeria, did you dare?
Right?
Yeah, I was actually out of control moving out. And he ran ahead of me.
Run back in there. Run back in there. I know one of you guys told her to.
I didn't do it. I was trying to solo these things.
I think that was all her.
Now they're gonna die. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not leaving now. They struck Valeria. They're gonna die now. I have to.
So I'm striking the prince as I tell Valeria, "What are you doing? Go now."
14 will miss. $24 will hit. Elise, you jump out of the cave, almost tripping in your haste, startling Rudy, who is outside. Rudy kind of gets up, eyes wide, in shock.
You see Rudy is halfway through applying her makeup.
Oh, sorry. Nice. I like it. Taking, being revived as a champ, eh?
Moments later, you watch as Drummond, almost directly after, runs up, sort of looks down the cave. You look up and you see that Elise is kind of sucking wind from the run, and Rudy's just sitting there, sort of stopped applying foundation to her face.
Well, don't mind me. Continue about your business.
You
weren't
gone very long.
Do I hear any of the yelling heading up?
I mean, there's yelling. Get out of there!
Well, I try to do a loud
What are you doing?
Okay, yeah, that last one's gonna make me stop, turn like, oh, bloody hell, and start running back down.
Okay.
What's going on?
Sorry, I had to type something. Laymorn, you run back down.
Alright,
Did you... Oh, you were running earlier, so you would have had to double move. Okay.
yeah.
So you get back down to the portal after your double move, and you see Rovanian getting ready to charge in. Thalion sort of trying to grab him and pull him back as the two wraiths are now sort of encompassing Valeria.
Oh, no.
Quick, cast lightning bolt.
Well, move away from me and then do it.
I'm not gonna be able to do anything this turn, huh?
Nope. Next turn you will. Zirak, still
Okay,
running?
so I moved up to the camp, and found Rudy last turn, right? And I turn around, and nobody else is here, and I don't see Valeria, correct?
Correct.
Then I will turn around and double move back down 60 feet. Does that get me to the mouth of the cave?
It will not get you to the mouth of the cave.
Okay, then I will move another 30 feet. Does 90 feet get me to the mouth of the cave?
90 feet will get you to the mouth of the cave.
Okay, so I can literally be here where I am on the map?
Yes.
Okay, so I see Valeria surrounded by these ghosts, and I'll yell out, "I thought you said flee!" And that's all I can do this turn, because I used all my actions to get here.
Rovania.
After yelling that primal scream, I basically say, "You will all die again." Forever this time. And I basically run back up again. Attack the regular wraith for now.
Okay.
That hit or miss.
That misses. That hits.
Okay. I turn to Valeria and say, "Get behind me! Flee!"
Gar Shadow.
I will give a whistle for Gar's Shadow. How high up was he when they teleported?
To the mouth of the cave.
Oh, so he's just right there.
He's on the landing.
Okay, he's going to go for a pounce, but he'll have to back up since he can't stay in the very spot.
Okay. The 21 will hit. Now, have you been adding in the -4s?
Shit, no.
Okay, I think a couple of his attacks would have missed. This one hits. We'll go with it.
And then there's going to be he'll get a reaction since Garshell's backing up.
Okay. He will make an attack against Garsh.
Missed.
Valeria.
I'm going to, I guess, disengage.
Okay.
Hey, Valeria, by the way, based on a vote, you have the potion of invulnerability. Maybe you should drink it now.
Too late. She already used that action. Okay, so you disengage and you run with enough footage to get out of the.
Yeah, I'll help her pull her up.
Both hit.
Might as well hit, yeah.
He's still within my range. I'm going to use my reaction to strike him.
Okay.
That was
So that is
that's a balance.
17, so you get 8. 13 will miss. The prince will pull a spectral horn from his belt. And it sort of echoes, and you hear a war cry. His call to honor.
Oh, hell yeah.
As 4
Jesus
more
Christ.
spectral dwarven wraiths begin to make themselves known,
Because hand and really probably would have killed most of these guys.
Oh yeah, the fight would have been over in 2 rounds had we all participated. But
Yeah, I don't understand why
our,
we ran it.
our cleric said flee. It's Valeria's fault.
Don't blame the healer.
I know, I'm so mean.
Okay, we left off on the prince, who is 6.
Oh, that was not my intention.
So I'll disengage now, and since the battle has changed a little bit at this point.
Oh, I was gonna take care of you. I don't know what's going on with initiative. I'm very confused. Oh, you're adding more to the initiative. That's what you're...
Yeah.
Okay. That is the end of the prince's turn.
Did you skip me?
No, he put new things in initiative.
I know, I was at 6, so I was...
Oh. Yeah, Mark, I guess the alien was after
That's
the...
why, because it was, Whoops, hold on. I gotta let go of the...
Yep, that's right.
Okay, and I think Thalion... Okay, go for it, Thalion.
The strike one that's behind Rovania twice, and then move up 35 feet.
Okay.
Does 16 hit too?
16 just hits. Okay, now it's his turn.
One hit.
Three points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm chilling outside.
Elise, you're chilling outside.
Drummond is on the turn tracker. Shows
It should have been Elise, but I think both of you are hanging out outside, correct?
Yeah, Elise is gonna sit outside, waiting, staring at the entrance like, are you serious?
Okay, and then Drummond, you two are waiting. So, round 7. Five slashing. Missing with a 13. .30 in front of Garshadow. Guy's been dead for a long time. Leomorn?
Here's your chance. Lightning bolt. You'll hit Garchild too, though. They're all nicely lined up for you.
Don't you dare.
I mean, seriously, you never get this good again.
Don't hit our ally ever. That's
just
never a good
kidding,
idea.
just
Don't
kidding.
listen to Chris Matthews.
I'm just
Never
kidding.
hit the ally.
Leomorn, I need to know what you're doing.
It is hilarious.
Okay, I am going to. I got to risk it again, so I'm gonna try to run over to Rovani to at least touch him.
No,
Okay.
I'm fine. I can't say anything, but you're gonna get opportunity attacks against you.
5, 10, 15, 20,
Hold on.
and I am going to do another thunder step. I'm just gonna reach out, grab his wrist, and I'm gonna send him right back
Take
outside.
9 points of slashing damage.
All right.
Well, after these guys all come outside.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting with the lowest HP, going in clockwise. The guy underneath you. That guy passed. The prince fails. Roll your 3d10.
All right. Yeah, move things around as the turn order is kind of like screwing up a few things.
Kill one while doing that.
So yeah, I am gonna grab him by the wrist, saying, "We're gone now," and just we're out.
Oh, you almost killed him. He's so close to being dead. So where am I at now? Like, out.
You guys are on the other side of the portal. Zirak.
That's a 40-foot cube. I'm gonna cast slow on all the enemies in that cube.
Okay.
Up to 6. If there's more than 6 that I can't see, because I
Nope.
can't see anything down here.
Only those 5. We'll start with the warriors first, closest to you, moving down. This is a wisdom save.
It is a wisdom save, yes.
Okay, these guys are terrible at wisdom. The one closest to you is slowed.
Damn it,
The dude that's almost dead is definitely slowed.
I want to come back inside. Come on, guys.
The guy next to him is slowed.
We're done here.
And
good
everybody
stuff.
is slowed. And here comes the prince to see if he can. Everybody's
Okay.
slowed.
They are all slowed. So what this means is none of them can take reactions. Shadow can freely run away. Slow means you don't get a reaction. And then I will move 30 feet out of the cave. That was my action mark, so now I move out of the cave.
Okay, and then you lose your expeditious retreat, right?
Yes, this is concentration, so I can't. Expeditious retreat goes away.
Okay. Ravanian, do you run back?
And when I'm running out, I say, they don't move very fast now. Those ghosts are slowed.
You go
We
back
would have
in
the
there.
advantage
I will
of-
lightning bolt you straight in the nads. You got this.
You got this. He did just teleport you out.
No, this is so tortured. This fight is be easily winnable.
It is.
Everyone's running out.
We're running out not because the fight is winnable or we would lose, because we said we weren't going to disrupt the dead, and we did disrupt the dead.
I'll stay.
You're gonna stay on that side of the portal?
To make sure Valeria is okay, I'm staying near her.
Garsha.
Shadow will double move out. So that is. Go after me.
Okay. Valeria, as you stand next to the portal as Shadow runs out, as the last of your companions go underneath, you watch almost as if a thin silk sheet waves in the portal, like a pebble being thrown into water.
Who was the last one out?
Gar
Shadow.
Shadow.
Okay.
So you're almost right.
Your coin.
As the ripples settle, you look inside, and you don't see the spectral figures of ghosts. You look as if you're staring at flesh and blood dwarves, each one carrying weapons adorned in immaculate armor. You look as the prince walks with his battle axe on his shoulder. He seems to be wearing a helm fashioned in the face of a dragon, his armor black dragon scales, the face an open dragon maw, his large axe put over his shoulder, standing with an air before everything seems to be taken away in smoke, and they vanish.
Okay, she'll say, "We're sorry we disturbed you. I'll try to teach them to stop doing that."
Is it alright to say that I could be next to Valeria just... That was too close for comfort.
I feel, and then I heal myself.
I'll lightly pat Valeria on the shoulder. That was a good call, actually.
I turn around to Valeria and I say, well, it wasn't a total waste of time. We did learn something.
Daffy.
Have
Dwarves carry
grudges
grudges
forever.
long after death. So let's not anger any dwarves.
I'm probably just like bonk Zerg over the head with the staff, just going.
I'm sure we're now
"Who
in that
started
book.
this?" Just head back up.
I'm sure we're in that book now, so we have a nice little. We're now immortalized in our.
I was
book.
hoping Mark would say something like, your name appears in the back of the book as you're reading it. And I was going to go like, oh, fuck, that's not good.
Are you guys going to go back in and read the books?
Oh.
No. We are going to let those dwarves sit there and
Let them
stew
lie.
about being pissed at us for the rest of all eternity.
Drink their dark coffee, blah blah blah. They probably hate me because I actually did kill one of them.
Everyone that went down into the tomb, when everything started, give yourself 506 experience points. Each half of the total that you guys would have gotten if the fight continued.
How much was it?
Well, we all went down there. Oh, except for Rudy, right?
Oh, right. I'll probably like bonk Xerox over the head with the staff a little. Just like, you started this. Do not shoot the blame on anyone else. And like Gandalf just gumbling in Primordial, just heading up the stairs.
I only follow the advice of my esteemed spiritual leader here, Valeria.
Xerak, you understand every single cursed word and every single thing that Leomorn is saying bad about you because your
right.
Languages, I believe, is still up.
That is still active for at least an hour, and it's not concentration. So he thinks he's cursing at me in a language I don't know, and suddenly I'm like, wow! You should watch your tongue, Leomorn. Those are some harsh criticisms.
You kiss your mom with that mouth?
Wait, how do you know what I'm saying?
I smile and say, magic, and I hold up my wand.
I'll just like hold up a finger, just. Good point. I need to talk to you on that one, how you did that later, and just keep going. Son of a took.
Well, that'll get your blood pumping in the morning. Didn't we just wake up?
You guys had to earn what was in there.
Sure was nice stuff in there, but we ran.
We didn't run. We respected the dead. And I made Valeria mad, and I feel bad about it now.
This is a wonder we have survived this long. When we run into these issues, we should work as a team to get out or to dissolve the situation, not forgo one another. That's
Well,
why we
fleeing was resolving. Fleeing was resolving
We
the
didn't
situation.
flee. Organize. I helped buy time, and then people came back in again.
That was a riot like running, like civilians. An organized flee of a team could have been organized better.
I will say I did tank that like a champ, player wise.
Yeah, you did really good. They could not fucking hit you.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Made it look so easy if Lara can tank and they knocked her down to 1 hit point.
I only came back for you, Rovanian, because you weren't coming up when people
I
were
was
saying,
coming
"Go
out.
inside."
I hit them, and I retreated, and I hit them, and I retreated, and I had all their attention. I was at the door. Gingerbread frame and like
It was entertaining to say the least. Like I said in the chat, I can role play it out loud. I'll look around at everybody and I'll say, "It's a good thing we all shared stories about why we're here last night and bonded over Rudy's resurrection to show that our bonds are indeed as strong as iron when we're put to the test." And I just chuckle.
There is a reason I started that story. We're adventurers. These things happen. My reasoning was to figure out who actually was wishing to deal with this stuff. Since most reactions from the group seem to be, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to fight these things? So I was trying to gather who really wants to stop these evil creatures that we run into. The things we've seen that are coming. That was the reason for that story.
Well, it seems like Rovanian has extreme distaste for the undead. And if we encounter them, we can probably assume that he will want to put them to final rest. Going forward, we should probably either agree or disagree that they should be put to final rest. What say you, cleric? Should we put the undead to final rest, or should the undead be allowed to wander the world in eternal misery? she claps up. She's like, "No, I'm not going to answer any of your questions, Zarak. You can shove a something up somewhere."
I feel I should explain myself.
Third degree annoyance.
I fear that I have pushed the limits of Valeria's patience with me to the brink, and I shall now be quiet for the rest of the morning.
Undeath is an affront to the balance. Balance of nature is life and death. These things stand outside of that. They must be returned to the balance.
Well, goes back to the horses so we can get going.
The horses have been prepped.
We do have
time you guys were
I will say that
screaming amongst each other, talking about ghosts.
I will say that
Tristan and Faye look terrified.
I will say that my first duty is to the group as commanded by my lord. So if you all do retreat, then I will buy time, which I did there, and then we'll retreat. But I just wish we'd be more organized in our decisions about retreating and then not returning.
I think that the moment we found that we had disturbed the undead, we should have all run away immediately. Because we made an agreement that we would not disturb the dead, which
I think
which includes undead.
That's why Elise went the hell out of there.
I think once they saw me and Thalion, it was already attack time. They don't like
right, but we have the opportunity to engage or disengage and retreat. And I thought that we had decided beforehand that we would not disturb them. So since we disturbed their rest, we should have left them. Even if their existence is an affront to nature, we made an agreement beforehand that we would leave them be. So perhaps we should have done that.
We aren't arguing the disengaging. We're arguing the way of disengaging.
I won't disengage until the party.
Okay, somebody needs to turn their mic away from their speakers, because
Yeah, I'm deaf in my right ear now.
that hurt.
What did you say, Sonny? I can't hear you.
Tristan,
I think my ears are bleeding now.
if you're talking about ghosts, could we leave now? As they all three of them look extremely nervous.
Yes.
I look at them and I say, yeah, I think we should leave, since the ghosts are merely feet away from us and could pop out of the ground at any moment.
Elise is just
Same.
gonna face palm like, yes. Can we just get out of here? Can we just go, please? We're wasting
If it's
time, you
possible for
guys.
Faye to be any paler, she is paler now. That's your expert.
Derek is laughing on the inside, Mark. He's laughing on the inside.
She is.
And then I will gleefully mount Ophelia, looking at the emotional carnage that I have caused, and kick her sides and gallop off. My work here is done.
I
have
think
made the
we
cleric
had enough time. We gotta
cry,
we gotta
and the hirelings terrified. My work here is done.
Did you link a picture?
Me?
Who?
Are we considered to get a short rest while we're riding, just so I can use hit dice if...
Oh, Jesus. Really? That's what you look like right now?
Yep, I did this whole thing in the description.
Oh my god. Like, Faye is in tears. She is hysterically, like, yes. Tristan and Welf look scared. You're sort of like, what? Like, they're terrified.
Is there something on my face? Hold on, let me wipe that off.
I just
Kinda
like how you
it's kind of like iZombie.
you guys come out. Okay, now this is the plan for the. Oh my God! Oh jeez!
They're already outside.
Your spell failed, she is a zombie!
Oh God! When did one of us turn into a zombie? What?
But I will say that she still had her disguise kit out, and she was still applying it when Elise and Droman came out.
Very nice. That's not expecting that.
Then he goes to punch Rudy again because he thinks he's undead.
Don't stop!
Oh God, no! Not another death.
You guys all mount back onto your horses, and leaving the cave behind, this seemingly strange little plateau full of life and unlife. You guys continue now up the rocky trail, climbing higher and higher and higher. Hours pass. It gets colder the higher you go. You start to see frost clinging onto everything. Not melting in the afternoon sun. It's chilly. The hooves of the horses crunch over dried pieces of ice on the trail. Thalion, you keep an eye out, and you catch little traces of the trail as you move on. Positive you're following the right one. The same blue little strip carved into the stone. Almost imperceptible if you're not looking for it. Little blue feather. And you continue to move.
Are we able to roll for hit dice, by the way, while we're writing?
Sure. Let you guys have a short rest if you want.
Excellent. I'm going to study my magic book and regain some spell slots.
You guys keep traveling higher and higher and higher. As darkness begins to set in, you crest over the trail and it flattens out. Standing on this plateau, seemingly at the top of the world, you look around and you see the mountain range in all of its glories. You look down and seemingly miles away is the lake, the broken dam. You can see the entirety of the Barrowlands as far as the eye can see. Everybody give me a perception check.
Sorry, I was AFK to get my kids to bed. Should I roll perception too?
Sure.
Yeah, he said everybody. So everybody.
No, I'm
gets
terribly not perceptive.
Okay.
I was AFK in the game too.
It is a cloudless night. It's as if you can see millions and millions of stars. You can actually see the galaxies kind of forming in the night sky, and it's brilliant. Thalion, you look at the large peak directly to the north, and there you can see small lights on the side. Sporadic.
These lights kind of seem like campfires.
No, they don't flicker, they're constant. And they cover almost the entire side of the mountain. Zirak, you're alerted to this as well. Brought from your reading as you hold your light over the book, as moonlight looks over and tells you lights on the mountain. And you look over and then you see them. You begin to point them all out.
Are they moving like a giant snake?
No. You look at it, and from this distance, it almost looks like you're looking at a city. Except the city is going up a mountain. Not looking down that you can see over the Barrowlands, where you can see the intermittent dots of the different towns scattered along the road shining brightly with their fire and candlelights. These little dots, compared to those, these are numerous lights.
It appears the mountains are inhabited.
Valyria. As everyone is looking over at the light, something catches your eye. In the dim light, you can see what seems to be a shape, as if sitting near the edge precipice of the cliff, about 30 feet north of you. You look and everybody seems to be studying the mountainside, trying to figure out what the lights are. And you look back and it's as if it's a figure sitting like cross-legged with maybe a blanket covering the head down over its body.
Person. Hello?
Who are you saying hello to?
Over there's a person sitting there, and she kind of waves at it.
As you turn back to alert Thalion and you look back, there's nothing there.
I am seeing things.
You guys are able to find a small little cliff face, kind of a dugout area to where you guys can try to set up camp to try to barricade yourselves somewhat from the blowing winds, to give your tents a chance to even block even more. The winds up here are howling. There's no real natural windbreak from what you can see. You guys set up the tents, scrounge for as much dead firewood as you possibly can. Oh, actually, do you guys even start a fire?
Yeah, I like to have a fire.
You guys scrounge as much firewood as you can with 3 outlanders in the party. Not too hard. You guys get a fire going, sort of in the center of all the tents. trying to keep the warmth within, trying to keep the wind out. You guys are greeted with a non-delicious yet nourishing porridge, I assume. Oh no, you guys ate this morning. You guys are probably not going to use that tonight. Unless you want to. I don't know what you guys are doing. What do you guys want to do?
Still have a spell slot to make porridge again.
Okay. It is warm, but tasteless. But it does warm you up from the inside and kind of soothe the hunger pangs. You guys feel relaxed. Do you guys set up a watch? What do you
Now I'm gonna take first watch.
Okay. I need a second.
At least we'll take second.
I need a third.
I'll take third.
I need a fourth.
Oh. I'll take the last.
Okay. I want you four to make perception checks.
Oh my god, I'm terrible at perception.
Valiant. Everybody settles in. Gar Shadow comes and kind of snuggles up close to you, and you welcome the heat and the warmth from his body. In the wind, you hear it. And it gets carried off in the breeze. It gets carried off in the breeze. 5 minutes later, that gets lost in the wind, and almost intermittently, these three noises weave in and out of the breeze around you as you look around. You don't see any. You don't see anything. Gar Shadow is on edge, hearing the noises. Zirak, as you try to read a little bit before you fall asleep, moonlight's out? You see the moonlight is sort of shivering and kind of moving close to you as if trying to hide a bit, seeking some comfort in your presence. And as you finally fall asleep, the dreams come again. The black shadowed woods, the raining of what seems to be ash, an angered growling and sad, mournful cry and whispers everywhere as you move through this endless forest of shadows. You get rest, but it's fitful. Rovanian, you took the second watch, correct?
No, I was third.
Elise took the second watch. Elise, Valian wakes you. He notifies you of the sounds, but you can already hear them as soon as you open your eyes. The three noises intersecting each other, weaving in and out, drowned out by the noise of the wind. But there, it's present.
Starting to become a normal thing these days with this wind. Snuggles up and keeps her eyes peeled.
You look around and along the rocky escarpment from which you guys made camp. Nothing. Nothing that you can see. The moonlight is casting everything in a beautiful, almost ethereal silver glow. You can see almost further than any night you can remember in a while, and there's just nothing. Small, hardy, little weeds and trees cling to life up here where it looks like nothing else lives. That's it. Your watch comes to a close. You nudge Rovanian awake, who snaps alert almost immediately. You point out the noises takes you a while, Rovanian. You just might be tired. Move up by the fire. After about an hour, you start to hear them. Same sounds, growling, crying, whispering, weaving in and out. Almost assaulting you all at once before being washed away by the wind. Lamon, you're woken up for your last watch. Same thing. The noises are back. Much more prevalent than they were almost the entire trip. But it's been sort of a break, actually. You kind of miss being in the strange ambience void that was the lake, not having to hear it. And now that it's back, it's not just the cold that's sending shivers down your spine. It's definitely more fervent, it's definitely louder, and it's definitely happening more often. You welcome the rising sun as the first warm rays kiss your cheeks. You close your eyes and you just face it, letting it wash over you as you begin to stir everybody awake. Camp wakes up. You all start to move. Zirak, the dreams are just somewhat emotionally draining. You wake up and your heart is beating fast. There's adrenaline coursing through your entire body. And then once that sort of feeling wavers as you kind of bring yourself back into the reality, take a steadying, shaky breath. You do your push-ups and your sit-ups, washing all of that away. Meanwhile, Moonlight's whispers just sort of into your ear. They're not supposed to be here. They're not allowed. You guys begin to break down camp, prepare the horses. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I want to pull Valeria aside if she lets me.
Or
Talk to you. Do you allow me to pull you aside? Basically, when I begin, I've seen you self-doubt. I've seen you express that you don't feel appreciated, and I wanted to let you know something that you may not know, or maybe you have suspected. I don't know. I know you've gained the favor of one goddess, but you must know that you've also gained the favor of another. It is by his command that my life is yours. I will protect you as much as I can, and I will die protecting you if I have to. It has been commanded. Should you find your faith falter in one, there's always another who will take favor in you.
why did he have an interest in me?
That is not my knowledge to know. I've just been instructed to keep you safe, and you have his favor.
I'll never leave but I guess it's other gods see some worth to me.
You should know that, and have faith in yourself as well. We both had interesting childhood, and yours had your horrors, mine had mine. We both had found favor in gods, and just know that you are watched.
You really don't know how to take that, Valeria.
Don't.
Because coming from the god that you've met, this deity of shadow and mystery has seemingly sent somebody to protect you, yet at one point was in open opposition at a certain point. One that seemed to taunt, one that seemed to almost drive one of your former party members almost insane at a point.
Mhm.
But he's watching you. It's a strange thing.
And with that, I'll bow and leave her be. Basically, I gave you the whole Aragorn speech. If I my life or death, I shall protect you. I will.
You have my soul. Gar, Shadow, and Rudy, you are down to 3, -3 modifier on your stuff. The horses are packed, and you guys begin to wend your way through the upper mountains. Every now and then, you guys see a trickle of what seems to be water cascading down. The sort of whisper of a river further ahead sounds in the distance. The faint swishing and rushing of it reaching your ears. Hours pass.
Stallion is still spotting the markers here and there.
Yes. They're definitely more spread out. But you're able to follow them based on the direction at which the tip of the feather is pointing. And you're able to keep track and move from marker to marker. There's no visible trail that you can actually see or follow up here. They cover their tracks very well, only leaving these small little markers. Those of you are also starting to look for them. They're very hard to see. Dalian has to physically get off, look, and point, and then you guys' eyes can focus on them and see what he's been finding. Second day comes to a close. You guys set up the watch. Growls, whispers, moaning cries. You wake up again, bitterly cold. Zirak, you wake up, feeling the wind. You cast your weather orb. It's gonna snow soon.
Seeing the snowflakes drift into my globe, I will stop my horse, since I usually ride out front by Thalion, and say it's going to get bitter cold. It looks like snow is coming.
He holds out his orb to you, Thalion, and you look inside, and you can see light snowflakes drifting slowly.
Looks like once we're through this, we should continue down and find another route out instead of continuing back the way we came.
You guys are there. You guys wake up the next day. The sound of rushing water is ever closer. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Maybe I'll be awake this time. Come on, be awake, be awake, be awake. Kind of. Almost want to see how I can get good at perception.
Rudy, Drummond, Elise, Valeria, you guys want to give me a perception check? If not, I will continue.
Oh, Jones asleep this time.
He's watching a butterfly.
Yeah, what's a butterfly doing with?
So pretty.
Elise. Everyone else seems to have their hoods down, except Zirak. He doesn't mind. He's actually kind of feels a little bit more comfortable. He's very relaxed compared to everyone else, who's sort of hunkered down in the saddle, trying to fight off the biting wind. As you sort of pull your hood down and turn your head to the side, you catch a glimpse of the sun shining over the large mountain back behind you. And as you look in sort of stark contrast to the stone around it, you see odd geometric shapes. Squares, rectangles, sharp angles against the contrast of the natural flowing stone mountain. Almost as if things were built there. You guys continue moving through. It is getting cold.
Odd.
Third day comes to pass. Still up in the climbs, still following the markers. You guys set up camp. Who's taking watches?
I'll take first this time.
I'll take second.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll take third with Valerius, because I'm going to take my time with him.
Oh,
it's my charge.
I'll take first then.
Okay. I want. Who's taking last track? Who last? Okay.
I'll take the last with Droman as well.
Okay, so you'll stay up with Drummond. Sounds good. I want all you guys taking watch, please.
There we go again. Oh my god. I'm glad Valerius up with me. Well, Valerius. Yes!
You find a pebble very, very interesting.
It's not that. I really haven't been commanded to protect her.
Again, Dalian, as you take the first watch, the night gets quiet, but for the blowing wind. Garshadow purrs next to you as his warmth sort of radiates through your body as you sort of scratch him behind his ear. Then you feel him tense. The sounds come louder. Crying, growling, whispering, growling. Crying only for a couple minutes before it fades. Growling. Whispering. You look around. You don't see anything, just the stones. The stars above you, the moon, the mountains to the north, the mountains to the south. It's setting your teeth on edge. You feel it's there, you can hear it, but you can't see it. Zirak, as you sleep again, just the dreams won't stop. Constantly moving. You find yourself walking at first. And then the tickling grows up your spine to your neck. You start looking around and you begin to run. And you run and you run and you run through these endless dark woods. Growling. Crying. Whispering. Chittering. Dalian, your rest comes to a close. I believe it was Droman next.
Drummond was last.
Droman was last with Lamorn. And then third watch Lamorn. You're fourth. Who took the second?
Took whichever one Valeria did.
Valeria took third watch.
We'll say whoever took the second watch had the same thing. We'll just go with that. Third watch comes around. Both of you are woken from your slumber. Rovanian, it's wary here. You miss the trees. Yes, you're out in the wilds. But this isn't home. This is strange. There's no warmth to be found here. It's natural, but doesn't feel alive. It's strange. Valeria, out of the corner of your eye, you catch something. Something sitting, as if cross-legged, staring out over a precipice. A blanket covering its form. Rovanian, you notice you don't hear crying, whispering, or growling. It's just the sound of the wind.
So nice yet terrifying at the same time.
It is quiet. Relaxingly quiet. The fire kind of crackles behind you. Carly, you there? Okay. Did you hear what I said?
Wait, I saw a figure with the blanket like before.
Yes. And it's just you and Rovanian right now sitting by the fire.
I point out, do you see that over there? Or is my mind playing tricks again?
You turn your head back to Rovanian.
Yeah.
Rovanian.
Yes.
And she looks and she points. You look and you see nothing there. Valeria, as soon as you turn around, you see nothing.
I saw nothing, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing there. I mean, things are always there sometimes that we can see that we don't, and vice versa. Should keep an eye out.
Seeing this figure, person wrapped in a blanket sitting cross-legged just watching out. But then I look back and it's gone.
Perhaps it's a good omen. At least it's not crying or screaming or moaning.
Valeria, you realize it for the first time now. As soon as Rovanian says it, you don't hear it either. There's no crying, moaning, or whispering. It's quiet. Just you two sitting by the fire, listening to the wind, looking out over the landscape.
Okay.
And just as it's beginning to turn awkward, your watch has ended. You guys wake up Drome and Leomore, who both sort of... It's bad enough sleeping with just padding on top of flat rock. But to make it cold at the same time, it's constantly waking up with sore muscles and sore tendons and everything's tight. It's hard to move. You guys drag yourselves by the fire, sit down. Rovanian and Valeria tell you there's no sounds tonight. It's very quiet. Comforted by that news, Leomore, you sit down quite happily knowing that you don't have to listen to that as the sounds begin. Crying, whispering, growling. The sun rises.
Wait, did he started hearing the sounds when he took watch?
Leomore and Drummond did, yeah.
Oh, great. Well, I like our watch is better.
By the way, Leomorn, I thought I ought to tell you, if anything happens to me, I'm giving you my money.
Wait, what?
Yep. I figured I'd better get that out there. 1, you're my employee, and 2, you'd probably be the best person to run it, so if anything happens to me, you can...
Come on now. You're kind of thinking a little too morbidly, aren't you?
Hey, Valeria just admitted she doesn't have the materials to bring anybody back. I could be next.
Well,
I would-
thinking like
I would
that.
One second. I would like a round of applause as Lamorn has officially been upgraded from intern to actual employee.
With benefits.
Congratulations, Lamorn, on your promotion.
Oh God!
Drummond, give yourself a point of inspiration. I love it. Fucking love it.
Wait,
Sorry to break the move there. Sorry to break the move there.
it's fine. It's fine. Just God.
What do you say? What do you say in reply?
If you think like that, you're just gonna be expecting the worst. So just don't worry about it. We'll be fine as long as we don't fall apart.
Alright then, let's do our best to stay alive.
Of course. Although I wish they had time to make more drops.
I mean, you have time during your watch. You can do it. You just have to expend the material costs. So. And then let me know if you try to make more than one per, just mark one with an asterisk.
Alright, I think I figure once it seems like it's getting close enough to where everyone should be waking up, I'll retrieve my supplies and try to quickly whip up a drop.
Okay, we'll say that you take the hour to do so. While everybody is kind of getting going and the porridge is being conjured. The fire is sort of stoked to get everybody woken up. And so you're able to make a drop of healing unless you want to try to make more.
I still haven't tested out the other one I made. So, but just to be safe, I'll make the for now. Because I don't know how fast we're going to be taking off.
Okay, give yourself one drop of healing.
I have one of those. Do those go bad or they're good forever?
These are actual potions that he's sort of concocting and mixing up, these little tinctures that you're able to drink. They're alchemical potions. They have a little bit more life shelf than the herbalist pastes and salves that you and Thalion make with natural materials.
Okay, good.
You guys break camp after a while, and again begin the long drudgery going through the mountain. A couple hours pass. Give me a perception check.
Erica, try again. Oh god, I give up tonight.
It's okay, you're kicking those ghosts' ass. This is just perception checks.
Well, until they called like 4 more, then I knew I needed a retreat.
You guys round a curve that cuts along a cliffside. Valeria, you gasp as you look straight down. And almost in this beautiful Technicolor canvas that covers the ground is these multiple layers and weavings of colors that cover the ground and carpet. You know that is the sea of flowers. And you can actually see Estok from the top. Elise, you see this sight, and it is beautiful. Rudy, you too. Everybody is pointed to the view. And as you guys look, as the snow begins to fall, you still see these beautiful, waving hills of multiple colors, as far as the eye can see past the tree line. It is almost a strange thing to see. It looks like an ocean, but oceans aren't. Red, orange, pink, yellow, with little bits of blue mixed in. And it's quite incredible. That's when you catch it, Elise. There's something flapping. You zero in on it. There's a piece of paper stuck against a bush ahead that nobody can see, and it's just pasted on like a plastic bag stuck to the front of a car going down the interstate. Just unable to move, and just giving itself surrender against the wind pressure as it's stuck on this barmy little bush.
Huh. Well, wait. Hold on, you guys. There seems to be a piece of paper over here on this bush.
Brought from your reverie, you guys look to where where Elise is pointing, and you do indeed see some sort of parchment stuck against this bush, being blown by the wind.
I'll walk over to pick it up if no one else does.
You walk over to pick it up.
Yeah, she figured Diane would want that, so she's like, yeah, go ahead.
Thalion, you see the ranger letter.
Alien will read it. Open
Word
it
for word, verbatim, just like the one that was given to you by the ranger inside Hellboard Keep.
You must be getting close.
The sound of the river is much louder as you guys continue moving. You actually cross what seems to be a natural stone bridge. Looking down, you see a chasm. At the bottom of the chasm is the river. You cross gently, one by one, not wanting to put too much weight on the stone bridge as possible. And you each make it to the other side. As you crest to the other side, begin following the trail, you watch as it starts to mirror the river, wending its way down, cut through the mountain, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years in the making. Cliff face to your left, trails that move up and down, but you follow the markers. And then you see it. There's something further ahead. It's moving sporadically. Stumbling? Tripping. What do you guys do?
Thalion kind of moves further up ahead. I'm kind of assuming it's someone running or fleeing.
Okay. With Rudy behind you, you step in action, gallop forward. It is indeed a person, cloaked, bloodied, stumbling, grabbing onto the cliffside for purchase, tripping over itself.
I'll stop my horse and dismount and rush up to them. What happened?
Almost instantly, the face locks on to your throat as you feel two piercing fangs bite into your neck. And that's where we're going to leave off tonight.
I thought it was daytime. Is it daytime or nighttime? I guess I lost track of time.
It's daytime.
Ooh, this Daywalker! Oh my god, it's Blade!
It's a drunk vampire because he was stumbling and.
That's true, he's like, he got lost in the sunlight.
No, Rudy, you ended up dressing up as a zombie, not a vampire.
Next, he'll change his costume now that he's seen a vampire. She'll change her costume.
I wish you guys would have killed those ghosts.
Trying to do it!
I'll just have to reuse some of the stuff in there as well.
What we miss out on?
I'm not telling you.
No, don't tell us. Yeah, no.
No.
I want to be surprised.
The best part about this is that I've had that little tune thing prepared for a while, and I had the pleasure of Zirak running those same monsters for me in his game, so I got to see how they work in live action, which is always better than using myself and just playing a game by myself. To see how
Agreed. I borrow from you guys as DMs too.
And I was like, I am so excited to use these things, because as soon as Mordenkainen's came out and I saw them, I always wanted to use them. And this was the only time I could use a somewhat good ghost.
Yeah, I wish if I had a magic weapon, I'd probably try sticking it out longer.
That was
Well,
awesome.
if I was going to stay and fight, I would have made your weapon magic, or Droman's. That's why I have magic weapon prepared for this part of the adventure.
Yeah, killed
I
that
bet
one
there
guy
were
with
so
the
many
next
diamonds
round.
down
So many diamonds.
Obviously, he had a nice horn. I wonder if that was actually something that was laying in the grave with him.
I don't know. Could have been.
I do the same thing, Mark. I put stuff off until later in the adventure if my players skip it, because I don't want... It's prepared stuff, man. I don't want to waste it.
Plus, it's things I think you guys would like as players.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to give you guys, a +1 net, because I know you guys will never really use it. So I'd be like...
I don't know. Brad or Jeremy would find a use for that. I promise you.
Probably, yeah. I guess you're right. Maybe I'll add
They love
+1
that
net to the
shit.
treasure list.
Both of them do.
Actually, I have a theoretical... I have a question. Can Thalion even become a vampire since he has no soul?
Say that again?
Can Thalion even become undead since he has no soul?
Who says you need a soul to be undead?
Yeah,
I think
he can be a
a
soulless
zombie
one.
or a skeleton.
He's just I think undead can be any animated corpse is considered undead. I think.
I mean, do you think vampires have souls?
Yeah, they're just corrupted souls. I don't think zombies or skeletons have them, but I think...
Mark, I've read too much Anne Rice to say no, they don't have
exactly.
They really have souls.
I know.
They're probably the most deep people ever to exist on the planet.
Yeah, they're the deepest undead, and of course specters and wraiths are actually souls that got, turned into negative energy.
Best part is D&D vampires are totally different from the books.
But I also think that Sam
Right?
Winchester.
Listen, not
when he
Sparkle
was
Fairy,
soulless,
Jesus
would have died.
Christ.
So, I mean, I think I left you guys something to ponder on. Thalion just got bit in the neck by a vampire during mid-afternoon.
Oh boy, it's
So-
gonna be like a
So I
Layla.
didn't even get a chance to
Blade.
stop it
Blade
from
Runner.
getting that close on me.
You reached out and said, "What are you?" You said you rushed up to it.
I walked
And you
up
reached
to
out
it, but I
and
didn't
what's
reach
wrong?
out to her that close.
I think you need to rewatch what you initially said, because
Yeah,
what you
said
described,
you rushed up to it.
you ran up to this
Ass.
stranger-looking thing, and you came up
Ask
to
what
it
happened.
and asked what happened, what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't tell me at the time, I'm kind of wary. I'm going to stand back and say, identify yourself. You ran up to this stumbling creature who looked like it was in trouble wearing a bleeding cloak.
You know, I have to say, I got the impression you thought it was a ranger and you ran up to help him.
I did think it was a ranger, but I like just knowing myself
Yeah.
that probably is just the wording. I'm never that close to someone that they can get on me without me being able to push them off.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You said you rushed up to the person and asked them what's wrong, what happened.
And
I will hold you guys to your. I will hold you guys to your original wording that you say because it happens in the moment, and I think that's the most truest form of what you guys do. Is when things happen in the moment, that's what I'm going to keep it. So.
I'm gonna go back to my last save checkpoint, please.
Don't worry, Doug. I can give you a benefit to saving throws now with my magic wand. So
Baboon, you got to touch him though with the.
And you never know, we might have a remove curse somewhere.
I think I can do that too.
I would like to throw my +1 net on the vampire.
Right? That's exactly what he would do.
Oh no, I got to add a plus one.
Prolong this, speed up the process and prolong the fight.
That would actually help if we get a vampire and capture it.
And then I will run off and drag him behind my horse.
Yeah. Your +1 net is haunted by the Gordon's fisherman.
So that's why it smells like.
Oh, I guess I don't have remove curse. I thought I did, but I guess I don't. That's all
that
on.
was
has it.
curse was a cleric spell.
No, a wizard can also cast it because a wizard can actually place a curse.
True.
Oh,
Well, there's
so-
also the divine wizards too that can get the divinity stuff too.
So on Rudy's Revivify, you guys had 2 failures and 2 successes in the offerings rolls, which dropped the DC to only a DC 6. And with the +5 modifier won by the 2 successes, Valeria easily eclipsed it with her roll of 18, allowing Rudy's soul to come back.
Also, just so I know, the items we offer up is immediately taken when the spell is done, right?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
However, if you want to give those items to Rudy, they belong to her now. Because you did offer her, you know, this beautiful.
Give me that ring or not, I'm going back to the other side.
And then just to keep track, Zirak and Rudy. Yes, Zirak and Rudy, both of your death save DCs increase by 1.
That only if you don't do Revivify, you have to do a ritual.
Only if it happens through a ritual. And then since you guys use Gentle Repost to prolong it, and then cast Revivify, I counted it as a ritual.
I'm really liking my.
If it was a regular Revivify, it just happens. But once the death save DC reaches a certain limit, then Valeria and or whoever has Revivify prepared and cast has to roll.
Die like 3 times in a fight or something, or.
Yeah, like if you die, like if Zirak dies, his base DC is now a 9. And that's not with modifiers or anything, so.
I mean, you can cast Revivify and it doesn't have to work. It's not a ritual, right? You can just do it.
Yeah, but after she reaches... Yeah, after a person reaches 10 with Revivify, then she'll have to roll. And the whole thing is based off... The whole thing is based off that if, say she rolled a 6 and the DC was 7, then the soul just chooses not to return. It's suffered so much. I mean, it's died multiple times. Like, perhaps maybe they're world weary and want to rest, you know?
I'm just trying to understand how it works with my level 3 trait, since apparently I don't want
With
to rest.
yours, you don't need anything, really.
Yeah, it's like, I don't require any kind of reagents.
Strange. It's like the professor all over again. It's weird. Something just keeps bringing you back.
We're over, but not automatically. I still have to have a revivify.
Oh, if only the professor is still alive. Thank you, everybody. I don't think we have any weekend games, so I'll see everybody Tuesday. And you guys found a vampire.
Yeah, I'm going. Oh yeah, I mean we find the alien. It's gonna be
Have
a
a good night.
thrall. Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you in a week.
Good night.
See you in a week.